I used to be Hal Jacobs, and now I'm Hal Miller Jacobs, and one of the results of that, or one of the causes of it, was my day in court. Hal Jacobs meets Sandy Miller. We decide to get married. Sandy decides to take a hyphenated name. She's advised by her feminine friends that in order to do this, you have to go to Cambridge Court, request it. And remember, when you go to court, do not try to educate the judge. Do not make a big statement. You're there to get granted your wish of getting a hyphenated name. We go to Cambridge Court. Judge is sitting there. His nose is buried in the paperwork. We're standing in front of him. He looks at me and he says, "Is it okay if she takes the name of Miller Jacobs?" Now I look at my wife and I see the balloons above her head, the thought balloons. "You male chauvinist pig! Why are you asking him if it's okay for me to take a name? Why aren't you asking me any questions?" I reach over, I grab her hand, and I say, "Yes, Your Honor, that's fine." That was it. Granted. Boom. We walk out of court. She has the hyphenated name. We have 2 daughters. We give our daughters the hyphenated name. And then the family consists of 3 people with a hyphenated name and me. So at that time, the law had changed, and I was allowed to take any name I wanted as long as it was not for fraud. So I took the Miller Jacobs name as well. And that was wonderful for a while. When I'd go on business trips and I'd meet women and they'd say, "You have an hyphenated name?" We'd go, "Oh, you are such a cool guy. Oh, wow, can I buy you a drink?" And I said, "Where the hell were you when I was single? And I was horny and so unlucky," but anyway. But then there are the bad sides of having a hyphenated name. Go to CVS to get your prescription. What is your name? Miller Jacobs. Well, let me see. No, there's nothing here. What, Mr. Jacobs, there's nothing. No, it's Miller Jacobs. Oh, Miller. Well, how is that alphabetized? I don't know how you alphabetized it. That's the name. Go to Marriott, check in. They have a computer. They look at me. "No, you're not here." I said, "Well, it's Miller Jacobs." I looked at him. "Is it a hyphen or is it a space or is it 2 names?" I say, "I don't know how your reservationist put it in. I don't know. You go to an airline, your name has to be exact or else you don't get on the plane." Oh my goodness, what a hassle. My daughters are getting married. I sit down with them to have the facts of life speech, and I say to them, "Take your husband's name." And they do that. They take their husband's name. My wife works for the state and knows nothing about Social Security. And she gets a letter recently from Social Security addressed to Sandy Miller. To the federal government, she is still Sandy Miller. So look, I am the only one in the family with the name Miller Jacobs, and maybe the judge, when he spoke to me, knew what he was talking about.